In 2011, I made a cinematic masterpiece entitled Scissor Throw Good.
Oh my gosh, you just killed Jimmy. Revenge.
It was both a box office and critical success. The visual effects were spectacular, the acting brilliant, but it left the audience with many unanswered questions. Why did I kill Jimmy? Was it an accident or was it intentional? Was my sister just an innocent bystander, or was she a secret protector? A few years later, a sequel, or reboot, was released, called Knife Throw Good.
You just killed Jimmy.
Revenge.
The second installment in the series proved to be controversial and divisive. Some critics called it unnecessary, unoriginal, simply pandering to fans. But others thought it was genius, subversive, and the cutting-edge visual effects were once again praised. One of the stars of the film had this to say.
He just forces me to be in his films. What am I doing? What do I say?
But now, 6 years later, I decided it was time to return to this acclaimed franchise. Without further ado, I present to you Knife Throw Better.
You just killed Jimmy.
Let's now go through some of the effects, namely the scissor/knife throw and the fire eyes. Unfortunately, I don't have any of the raw footage from either 2011 or 2014, as my old laptop was stolen a few years ago, along with all my old footage, so I've had to recreate all these shots. The first shot is very simple. I took a photo of some scissors in front of a green screen, keyed it out, and then animated its position and rotation using keyframes to make it move across the screen. For the second shot, I attached the scissors onto a stick and moved it towards the camera while rotating it. I then keyed out the background, did a bit of masking, a few adjustments, and voila. To make the knife land perfectly into the apple, I first filmed the apple with the knife already in position and made it fall down by letting it go. In hit film, I masked out the knife using a background plate, as well as my hand, and then animated a masked out still of the knife to land into its final position. Remember, it's generally easier to remove something that is already there than to add something that isn't there. And the practical effect of the apple falling down ties everything together. Combining a practical effect with a visual effect can really enhance the shot. This time, I modelled the knife in Blender. A 3D model gives you a lot more flexibility and control than a 2D image. Even for a shot like this, where the knife is in profile, there are slight lighting and perspective changes that you can observe when using a 3D model, which make it slightly more realistic. For this shot, I 3D tracked the background using the Foundry add-on in HitFilm, and then positioned and animated the knife accordingly. I can also recreate the scissor shot using a 3D model. Which one do you think looks better? Back in 2011, I probably didn't know about the existence of stock footage, or didn't have enough pocket money to buy any, so I filmed my own fire using ping pong balls. I used the key light effect and selected the black background, tweaked the settings and added a lumetri effect to get a good enough key. I also added a glow effect to make the fire pop. By 2014, I had obtained Action Essentials Volume 2 and was able to use proper stock footage for this shot. I tracked the eyes, parented the fire to the tracked nulls, added colour correction and several glow effects, and added lens flares in the centre of the eyes. I also had a yellow/orange solid that I masked around the eyes with a lot of feathering and dropped the opacity to 10%. I added a glow and a flicker effect to it to emulate the lighting from the fire. I finally added a heat distortion effect to tie everything together. This effect could have been improved by shining a practical light onto the face. I went for a different approach and decided that the fire would be inside the eyes. So I tracked the eyes again, masked them out using 2 intersecting masks, positioned and scaled the fire appropriately, and added glow effects and colour adjustments. I also added a heat distortion effect around the face and body, and some embers to tie everything together. I hope you found these breakdowns interesting, and that it shows you how you can film the same scene or action using different techniques and methods, whatever your level. Which version is your favourite? Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.
What? You can do it slow motion. Apparently, it looks cool in slow motion.